Hi everybody, so we're gonna do the headstand today. It's a tutorial for headstand for beginners, so they've never done it before. First of all, the idea of the headstand is a little bit of a misconception because it's more a shoulder stand rather than a headstand. So what you want to do, you're creating a triangle where you're interlacing the fingers and your elbows just goes underneath your shoulders, and what you're aiming to do is you're squeezing the elbows together all the time while your head is supported by the hands, so that the elbows remain underneath the shoulders, they don't come out to the sides, and basically all the weight comes into the arms and the shoulders rather than the head. Okay, once you've got that, then you're safe to go ahead with the headstand. If you're feeling that there's too much pressure on your head as you're doing the headstand, you probably need to reset the arms and make sure you're really squeezing the elbows together and they're just underneath the shoulders. It's not a little bit in, so that you're really feeling the weight onto the forearms and into the arms. Okay, what you want to do then, you want to double the mat a couple of times so that you're creating a little bit of padding for the head, and you're bringing the mat close to the wall but not touching the wall, because you want to have a little bit of space so when you're coming up your back doesn't rest on the wall. Okay, then you're kneeling down onto the mat and you're creating that triangle. So you're interlacing the fingers, you're placing the elbows just underneath the shoulders, and I'm placing this part of the head onto the floor while the rest of the hands support the back of my head. First of all, I'm going to show you what to do to just get the legs off the floor while the knees are against the chest. This is important because the majority of the people, when they're doing the headstand, I'll show you what they do, yeah? They come here and then they go. But they never get the idea of what part of the core muscles gets engaged to bring yourself back up. And then once you're relying on the wall, it's very difficult to come off the wall. So it's actually easier if you're securing yourself by bringing yourself next to the wall, but you try to use it the least amount of possible. Okay, so interlace the fingers, set yourself into the triangle, squeeze the elbows together, top of the head on the floor, and then you're coming up into an inverted downward dog, and you're starting to walk the knees towards your chest until you can sort of lift the legs off the floor. If you cannot do that, it's because your back is too at an angle. You need to make it a little bit more perpendicular to the floor. Once you're here, then stay here a couple of times. It might take you a couple of times to get here, and then once you're here, as you start straightening one leg, using the counterweight of the other leg so that you're not tilting against the wall. And once you've mastered that, then you can straighten the other leg. You're flexing the feet, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the elbows together. And then when you're done, you can sort of bend the knees against your chest, and then bring your legs down towards the floor. Once you've done that, you're bringing your arms along the body with the forehead onto child pose, and you're staying here for about 30 seconds. If you're not feeling confident to do that, you can use the wall, but this is the way I suggest you to do it. You're coming again into that triangle pose. You're placing the top of your head on the floor, coming into an inverted triangle. Still try to tilt your back so that you're basically feet against the wall, or you can push the feet against the wall, squeezing the elbows together. You can then straighten one leg, and then see if you can lift the other leg off the floor, off the wall. You can also use the wall. If you're using the wall, try to push the heel against the wall so that you can lift one leg off the floor and then the other one, and then use the wall again to bring yourself back down. And again, child pose with the arms along the body, resting here for at least 30 seconds.